I'm back. Had some time with the family, had dinner, had some all that good stuff, responsibilities as dad to take care of, and I'm finally now here at 7:25, about to start unpacking everything from the wedding, charging the gear, and dumping all the footage and backing it all up. I still got to do some thumbnails for those YouTube videos for the Sundial Creators page. Um, the goal was to launch it to when was my goal to launch this? Tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to still, realistically, just being straight up with you guys. However, if they don't launch at the start of this month, they're going to be launching at the start of next month. But at that point, I would have like 6 videos already filmed. So we're going to see what's going to be the best use of our time right now. But first, I know I got to break everything down and get all the gear backed up, put everything safely. So let me guys show you right now what I'm seeing in terms of the whole gear mess that I got. So let's go here. So we got right here is the setup that we were using for the wedding. The anamorphic handheld. We got the LiDAR. We got the 45mm Blazer lens. We got the FX3. We had the battery in the back. The side handle here. All that good stuff. And then down here we have all the gear. The C70s, the other FX3, the Sony A7 IV, the drone, all that good stuff that we had. Was able to fly a little bit yesterday too as well. We just got a whole bunch of gear to, actually it's not that much. Everything is here and it's just organized neatly, and I just need to unload everything, double check everything, dump all the footage, and that takes some time. So I'm going to start a time lapse. Go ahead and do that. You may see me in frame, you may not see me in frame, but regardless, we are working, and I'm just going to show what we're doing. So let's go ahead and do that, dumped all the footage, and I want to check back in because I do want to at least figure out the thumbnails for this YouTube channel. I think I'm going to put an emphasis on that and just getting it done. Also, this is like super impromptu, but I did get this really crazy like stand here that I'm about to try out, and it came just in time from Amazon, because in that way I can go ahead and record. I hope the audio sounds good because I'm not using the mic too, but I'm excited about this because now I don't know if I'll take it to the gym with me, but I can definitely set it in other places where I couldn't before, just with the DJI tripod or the mini stand that comes with. But this is pretty nice, so I'm gonna give this a go, and we'll set it up. If you're anything like me, you know post-wedding days, you just got to get everything stored away, cleaned up as fast as possible, especially if you're going to start your work day. I remember on this day, I just needed to make sure I got everything completed, all the files backed up, everything just ready to go for when I do start actually editing this project. I always try to stay ahead rather than behind because I'll lose momentum when it comes to editing. But in this case, I was backing up footage, watching other people's wedding films, watching a football game, just seeing where the scores are at. You know, staying fun. It's a Sunday, so try to keep it lighthearted. But at the end of the day, I went ahead and got the sequence prepared. All right, guys, it is still January 5th. It's 11:56 p.m. I am finishing up the vlog edit that you guys already saw in the previous upload. It's an hour long, but I promise you it gets better as you go through. And it's truly wedding day behind the scenes and preparation getting up to it. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I am excited to take you guys on my next wedding coming up this upcoming Saturday and this upcoming week. But that may not be for this vlog. It may be on the next one. So we'll see how that goes. However, it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of behind the scenes and real material for the Sundial Creators page. So that's kind of nice. And I'm thinking about maybe, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about, like what should I name this whole series? Day in the life of a wedding videographer, day in the life of a videographer, day in the life as an entrepreneur. I don't know. You guys let me know. I find these to be interesting. I just want to show a little bit of everything that I do. But, well, I'm very proud of rendering all of this, you know, getting this whole hour vlog in 2 minutes and 2 seconds and 16 milliseconds completed tonight, because it's been a long day. I had a long day, wedding day yesterday, and the fact that I still did a workout today, still got everything done that I said I was going to do, I feel pretty accomplished. And so the grind is on for this year, We're going to keep that accountability, and I'm keeping myself accountable to you guys and what you're doing. And so I'm very, very impressed with this little camera, and I'm going to keep it going. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, January 6th. Drop off the daughter, went to the gym, took a shower, finished reading my Bible, devotions, reading the Bible, praying. I'm excited for today. I think today is going to be an amazing day. I have a meeting with Ashley here soon that we're going to be talking about our podcast that we got going on, and then our package that we have for Ultimate Duel as well. So it's going to be a productive day. We're going to finally work on those thumbnails. Today is the day we want to get it done, so I can launch out that series to come out once a week. So that's the goal. And then I want to make some reels for Sundial Creatives from this past wedding, showing some behind the scenes, because I got a lot of good stuff. And so I want to push that out, keep it going. And then tomorrow, throughout the rest of the week, just start focusing on weddings. I need to start editing. So I'm going to do all the admin stuff this week, try and knock that out. I got to send some questionnaires to some couples too as well. And I think it's going to be a super fun day. Last night, I didn't get a good amount of sleep. I got like 5 hours of sleep. At midnight, I went to my bed, wasn't feeling it, and woke up at 6 in the morning, and then here we are. So I feel actually super energized. Espresso works, man. It'll wake you up, getting good workout in, taking a nice shower, feeling clean, and just keeping that attitude and that mindset, your spirit filled with joy is huge. So let's go ahead and get to work. It's 10:22, 10:30. We're going to hop on the call with Ashley, going to do a video chat, and start the day off right. Blizzards, infestations, epidemic or pandemic, war, invasion, hostilities, whether the war is declared or not, terrorist threats or acts, riots, insurrection. Yeah. Schedule that call because I want to see if it works. All right, guys. It is currently 2:26 p.m. I need to finish editing the vlog, putting it out there, create a thumbnail, all that good stuff. I don't know what it is, but the thumbnail, I'm just having an issue. I need to make a midday coffee because I am starting to feel very tired and winding down. So to pick the spirits back up, let's go ahead and make a quick coffee and get back to the workday. All right, we knocked out the thumbnail, so I am super happy about that. I'm about to go and finish the vlog, edit it, or it's pretty much done. I just got to do a few things and then export it and upload it onto YouTube. And then by the time that's done, go pick up the daughter, come back home. And I have a call. It went from 6 now to 8 p.m. So kind of nice. But and see what else we got to do. I got to create some more reels. Get a few things more done. That way, starting on for tomorrow and all the way until Friday, I can just focus on this upcoming wedding for Saturday. So let's go ahead and do that, knock that out. But feel good. Let me show you guys the thumbnails too that I created, because I didn't know what to go with, but I use Canva for all my thumbnails. But we got here, let's see, why wedding films fail. Oops. That's the first one. Second one, from filmmaker to father, what couples overlook, like stop, personal vows matters. Those are the 3 videos that I did onto the Sundial Creatives page. So we'll see if they get any traction, if they go well. I hope they do. Took all these photos. That's what you see these lights all set up. Look, I gotta keep it real with you right now. Reality just like set in on me pretty hard. Like, you know, when you get that new toy, you get that new thing, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, it's war over. Like, you're over it. You know, you can kind of fall back and stumble back in your old ways. Well, that's how I feel like right now with like this work day, right? Like, it's the new year, and like you get excited, you get pumped, you do all the stuff. You've been doing it for a week now, and now you're like, okay, I'm tired of it. I'm not seeing instant success or instant, satisfaction, whatever it may be. That like, okay, like it keeps you stimulated to do more and do more. And this is where you have to be reminded, and I'm reminding myself, is that what you want to do, the impact, the goal has to be far greater than your own flesh, right? Like your own desires that that will fall back into your own comfort zone, right? You have to be willing to push and stay out of that comfort zone if you want to achieve, or if you want to see the thing that you want to grow become reality. I mean, YouTube for me has been one of those things that I've been wanting for so long. I mean, over 10 plus years, right? And like, I always ended up quitting. And this is the season that I am choosing not to quit. I'm choosing not to stay in a shell, and I'll make a few videos here and then stop. But whether it be in this vlog right here, or whether it be in my Sundial channel that I'm also trying to push and trying to grow as well. You know, this is a season in which I am committing myself 1000%, no matter what, no matter how hard it gets, no matter whatever it is. And this is right now just speaking a commitment to you. And I'm including it here because in case you ever feel like that, if you're ever starting something new and you're just like, I don't even know how to start, how to begin, how to go about it. You know, like people ask me like, how did you get into this? I'm like, I just did it, right? I did tons of collaborations to master, you know, photo and video, and like my interests are so far beyond just being a videographer, a wedding filmmaker, right? Like that's why I have a whole different channel for that. Because here I just want to show who I am as a person, what I do, motivate people, but also keep myself accountable, man. I've said so many things that I've been wanting to do, and I've not gone out and executed. And I don't want this to be that other year that I just don't execute. And so I'm just speaking my real thoughts right now, what I'm feeling, but I'm choosing not to accept that feeling, because you don't do that. That's how you put yourself right back in a box. And I'm making that commitment here to you all. To whoever watches these videos, I hope you get some value and that you end up growing from this channel and applying it to yourself, because I don't want to be the same I was yesterday. I know God has a greater plan for me, and I also know that if I'm like thinking about like, hey, I want to have this or have these opportunities or be gifted this, whatever it may be, if you're not willing to put in that work for that time and commitment, why would God even grant you that desire that you want anyways? If you weren't willing to work for it, if you will, you know, really be that person that's willing to put in the work and who is then ready for that, you know, that opportunity. When he presents opportunity, no, it doesn't. At the end of the day, you have to put in that work, that consistency each and every single day. And when God says it's his time and it's time for you to have this harvest, you wouldn't then know how to handle it, because he's tried you in the hardest of times. And so I'm just reminding myself, because obviously we all need money to live, right? And to be able to provide for our families, but just being reminded that your impact has to be greater than whatever the world throws at you. Your desire to make an impact has to be so far beyond, because then you won't quit. The willpower has to be far greater. And I know that this is a mission that God has put me on, but I've put him away. I put him aside by not following through on the things I said I was going to do. You know, I want my word to be my bond. And in this nowadays, man, we are so easily distracted by everything that we ain't gonna let that happen no more.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, January 7th, I believe. Yeah, Tuesday, January 7th, and it's 38 degrees outside. It's pretty chilly here in Florida. I'm still wearing no jacket because I'm pretty crazy like that. Nah, but in all reality, I'm indoors, so I don't know. I feel like it's a waste of time to be able to put on a jacket. But if I was outdoor for a good amount of time, I would have a jacket or a sweater on. But today we have a lot to get done. Actually, we do, but it's in the office again. So all day today we're going to be editing. I do have to go to the dry cleaners real quick, drop off my dry cleaning to get ready for this weekend's wedding coming up on Saturday. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, hit the gym. Today is arms, so I'm gonna try to do my best to take you guys behind the scenes for arm day and show you what I'm up to. But other than that, it's gonna be a fun day.
And I want to keep it very simple. What about who am I going to hire to do my short form video? I can't do that stuff. I taught myself how to, but I don't want to. My strength is.
Definitely took my time working out. Feel strong. Easy workout. Tomorrow I'll be hitting legs, so legs is gonna be fun. I'm actually gonna take this tripod I'm using right now and bring you guys along for legs. That's gonna be pretty nice. My wife and I watch like a few of the videos that I've already posted on the TV in the living room with the kids, and she's like, it's like you're just creating a diary. I'm like, yep. Even if no one watches, at least it's a diary that my kids can watch later on in life and see what their dad was in 2025. And for me to reflect, like I've always been saying, is for me to watch and just to see my moments in life. Nobody cares. Oh, dang. If nobody cares, I care, and my family would care. So you never know when we're gone in life. And so just having this to serve as a purpose to relive memories is nice. And I really do hope YouTube doesn't go away anytime soon, and it stays for like another 300 or 400 more years. Seriously.
If you want to make things
Let's go
simpler,
ahead and get that breakfast in.
Minimum shutter speed, which for me, I'd say is around 1/160th of a second. Pick the maximum for auto IS.
Thank you, Lord, for this food I'm about to eat. Let it nourish my body. In the name of Jesus, I pray, amen. That's pretty good. Pretty darn good. I gotta go ahead and start reading my Bible, read my devotion, and let's do this. Now going full work mode. We are editing all of the speeches, first look, ceremony, all the long format events. We're nesting it. We're doing multi-cam sync, and we're just going hard at it and editing. It's not that hard, honestly. Sometimes it can be time consuming. I also gotta make some stories for the IG. You already know what it is, but we are just getting work done. I do get distracted all the way throughout. But having a TV was kind of nice because I had to edit most of this standing up. My back has been killing me like crazy, but this was a lot of fun being able to just knock these edits out the way and get it done and start creating my A-roll, because I believe the next day is when I actually started the full editing of the wedding film. So I may have some behind the scenes of that too as well. Wednesday, January 8th already. Today's the 8th. Yesterday, I finished editing all the stuff that I need to get done. That way today, I can create the whole A-roll structure of the film, and then also start editing and inserting B-roll as well. So that way, I can finish it up today. Tomorrow, it's gonna be a fun day, so can't wait to share that. But I'm gonna go ahead and read my devotions, read my Bible before I get into the whole editing process. But yeah, welcome along. Today's gonna be a fun day. It's really cool when you're editing how things just like you find clips that just align with the footage and the feeling of everything. I love it when that happens.
Nothing's gonna break my mood. Yeah, I just wanna feel like.
Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, January 9th, and it's pretty cold outside. I forget my keys? No, I got my keys. Dude, it is pretty cold. It's like 35 degrees outside. Here in Florida, like Central Florida, like that's pretty insane, pretty wild. But it is what it is. I had to drop off my dog to the babysitter and get ready with my day, all that fun stuff. Haha, I caught you. Got you. Putting my daughter in the car, It's freezing weather. It's pretty cold. You cold? Yeah, it's cold. Yo, we ain't used to this out here in Florida, dog. I don't mind it though. I actually love it. Cause I'd rather be cold than be hot and sweaty. I'd rather be in the 70s all the time with no humidity. Like that would be ideal temperature all the time. But I'm gonna enjoy this. Ooh, that wind is chilly. It's that Arctic cold front we got. It's pretty crazy, All right, an outfit. Also, I'm using the ND filter, and I am I'm doing a variable ND filter. I'm giving it a test to see if it's even worth doing. I know it adds a a little bit of an extra step in the workflow, but I want to see if it's worth it, and if my footage will look any better. I don't think so, but we'll see. And it's also kind of cool that there's these little mini ND filters that you can put on here. The only downside is that it's not magnetic, and it doesn't work with a wide angle lens. So I think that's a small problem, but a problem indeed. I'm in my car right now, and I'm waiting for the person I'm meeting up with here at this coffee shop to show up. And while that is happening, I am creating YouTube content ideas that I can make for Sundial or even for this page. I'm still in this process of trying to figure out exactly what I want this channel and my other channel to be, and also my content for Instagram. As we all know, we all struggle to like, hey, what do we want to talk about? What do we want to share? And now that I have some experiences in life, I can actually like start talking about these experiences and sharing my perspective onto this world. And so I'm literally with my iPad just writing down some YouTube ideas, so like how I film weddings, and trying to figure out in a way that's like doable to who I am and my personality, and that's true to me. Because I'll be honest, like I'm not like other YouTubers out there that will bring a whole film crew to film a wedding, and I don't want that approach, and that's kind of not me. And nor do I want to push education in that way for like Sundial creatives to build courses and all that stuff. Like that's not me. I just want to give some information and just perspective and value, and more like bullet points that people can take from how I edit wedding films, the mindset and approach. 3 mistakes I made with my wedding business. We all make mistakes, and I figure like, hey, showing some struggles in that sense is pretty good. It's not too late to start, and that one is kind of like open-ended, right? It's like we all have ideas that we want to execute on, like right now with this vlogging, right? Like I thought, is it too late to start in 2025? I've been trying to do this for 10 plus years, and it's really not too late. It's just a matter of like, are you going to do it, and are you going to be consistent about it? That is like really it. We hold ourselves back so much because of fear, because we think we ain't good enough, or that people won't find it valuable, or anything of that nature. And it's like, if we don't push ourselves and ever try to start something, it'll never get done. We're the ones that have to do it. And especially when you own a business, you start realizing when you don't put in the effort, put in the work, you ain't gonna get paid. You ain't gonna get any results. And so one of the things I've been pushing forward is like removing that excuse and doing the work, what it takes to be successful and be in the space. And the thing is that you just have to be adaptable. You have to be willing to push. And if it's not paying you right now at this moment, but you believe in this in your dream, get a side hustle, work another job until this thing can grow. And when it does, don't stop. Don't let your foot off the gas. And I think I'm excited to talk about that and really put it in here. Another thing is be yourself. I really want to speak to that, because we all see social media. We see everybody want to be someone else or see what they're doing. Hey, let's do what they're doing. But if it's not true to you, you're not going to keep up with it. You're not going to be consistent with it. So that's my thing. And talking about my biggest struggle, because I'm sharing it here with you guys, is just a fear, and then that we get in our head and we just stop. It's almost like just quitting without even truly trying, or you try for a short amount of time because you want that instant gratification. But it's that part of knowing that anything in life that you want that's good takes time. And if I want to see my abs again, if I want to be super strong, or if I want to be really good at filming weddings and do all this, like you got to put in the reps, you got to put in the work. And so that's one of the things, and finding inspiration that's true to you that you can talk about. I think that's going to be the huge part. I'm excited because I've never been in the state of mind where I don't have walls that I'm putting up that I can't. And if anything, I'm putting on a lot where it says, where I believe I can. Now it's just like filtering out and making sure that I can actually execute on these things I say I'm going to do. And this vlog is one of these things, just documenting as much as I can and seeing what value there is to share with the world. I know my biggest struggle when it comes to editing for this YouTube, for this channel specifically, for Sundial is a little bit different because I want to present that much more in higher quality and using the nicer camera, nicer gear, all that stuff that I have. But for this channel, I really just want to give much more of that raw context. Like, I'm probably not going to play any music.
And actually, I'm not going to play any more music moving forward because I got copyrighted in my last video and it's partially blocked. So I don't know if the algorithm is going to push or not. And I'm not going to erase it. Like, I want the value there and the context there. But regardless, like I want to keep this raw because it shows the scenes of whatever I'm doing and building for the other channel, which is a Sundial Creatives channel, and showcasing a different look and perspective. And I wish more creatives would do that a little bit more, where you can see the raw value of that. And I also need to come up with this channel is themes and overall that I can talk about and that makes sense for you guys to click and watch this, instead of just being like, hey, this is my vlog or anything. And if anything, this video might be called like my biggest struggle, and really just sharing that and talking about that. So I may be finding points that I'm feeling or I think is going to be added value to this that I can speak to and showcase throughout the week of how I overcome this. And so, and the journey of this is fulfilling my 2025 goals. And I think that might be my theme for this whole series of videos, is just executing on my 2025 goals that I set out to do. They're not wishes, they're not anything, they're actual goals. So that's what I'm gonna make these videos about and bring you guys along in that journey. Wow, self-discovery there. When you talk in front of the camera and you lay out your ideas, you're hit back with what you should run with. And that sparked it. These episodes are gonna be hitting 2025 goals, the resolutions. So I gotta figure out how to come up with creative titles to do that for this channel. I got really cool topics to talk about and titles for the Sundial page, which I know that's gonna take so long to grow. It just is. But we'll see, man. Again, anything good in life is gonna take time. So I gotta put in that work and just do it regardless.
Like one of the things that he enjoys the most is just like almost like podcasts that are just.
But it'll reward you if you're putting in the rep and the work.
Yeah.
And then people engage. And it's funny, yesterday I posted a video on Instagram, which I didn't think it would do decent at all, because I've been noticing like, all right, my stuff doesn't get pushed out on the Instagram algorithm very much. But then I posted one of just me like doing time lapses, and then I do a voiceover.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm gonna sit on my cameras and stuff.
So that was you setting up for that wedding.
Yeah, for that wedding. And like, wow, and it's I see like the analytics, so it's like 90% of people watching these are people that don't follow me. So they're new people.
Yeah.
And so I got like 6 new followers from that video. I'm like, and then commenters, and then people sending like DMs or interacting in the stuff. I'm like, okay, that gives me, you know, do I enjoy doing those all the time? Like, no. But was it easy? Yeah, it was super easy. I put this thing on the little tripod I bought and I moved it, and I kept pressing record. And I'm like, all right, if I can use this tool, what's the content I really want to push out is the one me speaking to the thing. Like, that's the one. But like, let that one be the bait to bring these people in and start these conversations. So
I think fear is probably the biggest inhibiting factor in growth. And I think a part of fear is there's a partial knowledge that you could do it inside of fear. If you had no desire to do it, you had no talent in that area, you wouldn't fear it. It wouldn't even be on your radar. I think fear is knowing that you have the potential to do it, but there's also potential that you might fail. And so just letting your brain overtake you and letting that fear win just always keeps us back. So, I mean, I think the limiting factor is just us, right? Can we overcome the fear? And I think the existence of fear in our lives proves that there's something there we should push for. There's talent there, there's a calling there, there's gifting there. If it weren't, then you wouldn't fear it. You wouldn't fear stepping into that next thing. You wouldn't fear starting that new thing. But the fact that there is that pushback and there's that fear and a little bit of anxiety towards it, I think probably just speaks to the fact that you have it in you to do it. You just have to get over yourself. Push past that first step. The first step's the hardest. And then every step after that becomes easier and easier and easier. You build your talent, you build your team, like all that stuff comes. So the first thing is just the first step, overcoming that fear, kind of believing in yourself and seeing what happens. don't know what's going to happen. But if you don't do nothing, nothing's going to happen. So it's just taking that first step out, try it, see what happens. And most of the time, it turns out pretty awesome. Let's go. Yeah.
So here I'm editing with Pastor Caleb. He is one of my friends, and we're working on a whole new project called Noble House, which is a little bit of a longer story, and I'll share that in the future. But we are working on our first documentary together. We're going over all of the interviews that we had, start selecting our first drafts of A-roll that we want to use, and start composing the storyline together for our documentary. And so it's been quite a journey being able to work alongside together, and it's been a lot of fun. So we just really spent the whole hour going through 2 of the interviews. We have 2 more left to go, but it was a lot of fun. It was just really cool. So that I'm going to share a little bit more about that, and I think Pastor Caleb is actually going to introduce a little bit more about the topic and what we're doing here soon as well. All right, so I'm going to put Pastor Caleb here on the spot about this project that we're working on. So here you go. He's a better communicator than I am, so.
That's not true. Am I asked a question or just talk about it?
Just go about it. So what is that we're working on right now?
All right, so we're working on our first documentary together, first project of Noble House. And the first one is a documentary for single moms. For the church and for single moms. The goal is to share and bring awareness to some of the struggles that single moms are facing today, and to bring that information to the church. Right? I think the church should be a place that single moms can come and gain community and resource and people that would just lift their hands up, in a sense, to win the victory in life, and raising their kids and those types of things. And so the goal is to bring the information to the church, help the church understand the need, and then challenge the church to step in to help be a solution. The true solution is Jesus Christ. We know that. And so that's a part of this message, is that when people know God and they surrender their life to Him, that He begins to bring us to a place where His blessing does flow, and He carries us, right? He works all things out for our good. We know that. And so really we're hoping that single moms might see this and understand that there's a God that loves them, and there should be a church community close to them that would support them and help them. And then we want churches and pastors across the country even to know that there's a need. And the need is growing. We see more single moms, single parent households than we ever have. And so, we have to step into that. We have to be the hands of Jesus extended to those who are lost and hurting and just need Jesus. They need the family of God to be there for them. And so that's really what this project is all about. Hopefully it's the first project of many for Noble House. That's a goal. And so, we're just trying to be led by the Lord. We see a need here, and we just want to bring awareness to the world through this. So
let's go.
I think that's it.
Perfect. I finally made it a point this week to get out the house and spend time with people and still work outside of the house. Something I normally don't do, but with this great weather, I need to do it more often. Feel much more energized and excited. Sometimes especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're always just at home, you can just fall into this trap, and getting outside the house is one of the ways to get out of the trap. Since I finished the wedding film and I got everything done, today I can reward myself. Hang out with friends, still work, do edit on my passion project, and then now I'm about to get a quick workout in with another friend, walk the lake, enjoy this beautiful weather, and then come home, eat, and go work out again. Because I missed yesterday, and I got to make up today too as well. So we're getting three workouts in for today. Can I do it? Well, find out. It is nice and windy and cold out here. It's beautiful. So I decided to leave my microphone at the house. So I don't know how good this sounds at all because it's windy outside. So yeah. What's up, man?
Nice. You got the Osmo?
Yes, sir.
When did you pick that up?
I think last week, something like that. I returned the Ray-Ban Metas in my style. So this is for my whole vlogging channel now.
Wow.
Pretty much for YouTube. Trying to get in the habit of it. This thing is actually like really sweet though.
Dude, I know some videographers that literally go
Yeah.
out and they use that for their like
Dude.
full shots.
It's actually pretty insane how good the quality on this thing is.
It's the same cameras that are on there.
DJI. Yeah, it's a 1-inch sensor thing.
I mean, it's a powerhouse for a little camera. Sticking with a workflow.
Ah,
I think, you know, sometimes we're eager to change something too fast
yeah.
and we just overcomplicate things. You know, that's something that with my workflow, like I'm always thinking to change it, but then like, you know, if I just stick with this and like get used to it and like almost build on top of it,
Yeah.
I think it'll be better than always switching stuff. Like that was one of the big issues I had when I first started.
That's so true. And you know what, like speaking to that, it makes sense because like when you work a 9 to 5, that's already done for you.
Yeah.
And they just expect you to hit the metrics, to hit the goals that they've set in place already. But when you're your own boss, like you got to figure that out for yourself.
And it's different for everybody.
Very much so.
There's no like your workflow, my workflow is different. Other people's workflow, like that's something you gotta really dial down.
Very much. And that's been the thing where like even with gear, right? Like your gear, you may use it a whole different way compared to how I use my gear.
Exactly.
And what inspires you. That's the craziest thing. Like got into this whole wedding videography, right? Like I dove into this whole thing and I never asked anybody for advice or anything. So I made so many bad decisions.
That's why I had you.
I know, right? But like making those bad decisions and then having high expectations of, oh, I want to make this into a 7-figure business or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you start it and you're going through it and then you realize like, wait, this isn't what I really want to do. I don't want to build it like that. No. It becomes very hard in what we do. Like you said, finding those second shooters. Finding people is the hardest thing really about this business.
Really. Finding people you trust.
That you trust. Exactly.
Because you can find people. It's just find people you trust and feel like they could
Yeah.
get your vision, understand your vision, and execute it in a certain way.
Yes.
And like nothing's gonna be perfect, obviously.
Yep.
But like at least them giving the effort and like, you know, asking questions, asking for help. Like I'd rather have a second shooter that's like, you know, even if they don't understand my vision, like figure out how. Scared me.
Yeah, me too.
Figure out like, hey, what can I do? Like, hey, I know you like this, but like, I don't know. It's kind of, I feel like I'm just talking now, but
No, it is. I remember when like finding people and then like, okay, you have this dream, you're doing it, now you're working on it, and then you figure out like, oh wait, there's another element that's called life. And when you get married or have kids, there's there's other different elements that now you gotta like also conform to, and then realize like, wait, if I'm gonna build this into a 7-figure business or whatever, it's gonna take a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice. Is it worth it? And the reality is, for me at least, like, oh, I don't want to do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of weddings every single year. That's not enjoyable, and you can build teams and scale and all that good stuff.
some people it is enjoyable.
Yeah.
Not for people like us, though.
No.
Or people like the way I think we have similar views, something to some extent.
Yep.
But like there are people that do like that multi-scale, like 100 weddings, which I don't know, it sounds very chaotic to me, but there's some people that like it.
That is very true. And I've gotten to the point, at least now, where it's like, all right, if I'm ever going to build something ever again, it's like, what is it of value and impact that I can do or create that a lot of people can resonate, would want to have, and create volume that way? Because money is just a tool, right? And so if you pay me, I'm giving you an exchange of value and something that you're going to be able to use. And if I'm able to create something in how do you package it, right? Like products, like what I'm using right now, this camera adds value to me because I can film and make these vlogs so much easier, so I'm willing to pay for it. And you can make tons and tons of these, right? So it's like, all right, that's why I like the digital space.
Yeah.
Because there is tons of value and ways to do
I
that.
have a question for you, actually.
Go ahead.
Do you think people now, especially now in 2025 and even last year 2024, do you think people are starting to understand the value of videography no more?
Ooh.
Like, you know, for a while we always felt like we were the second to the photographer. It's still kind of very much so even nowadays sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, what's your thought now?
I think now, honestly, I believe the value of videography was always there.
Yeah.
But maybe for like in terms of the wedding industry, I don't think people saw as much. But I believe now that creators are getting rewarded for putting in the work and creating content that, and they're expressing that value, that other people are now starting to see that, whether it's actually even couples. It could be honestly other videographers.
Yeah.
That, hey, they're into these cameras, they're into these things, and I see value in what they're doing because they're expressing knowledge and interest, and that's already like a community in itself of just videographers, right?
Yeah.
But in particular to couples, I think that it's definitely like value has increased, but it's still not where it needs to be all the way.
Yeah.
And but I believe that the more, like, for example, like, there's nothing standardized in wedding videography. A lot of videographers treat their approach very differently. And I think until it's standardized like it is with photography, right? Everybody knows that with photo details. Oh, then like you have to do family photos or portraits, right? Like, that's a standardized things all the way throughout. And so with video, I feel like, okay, it is somewhat standardized. Like, we got to capture ceremony and speeches.
Yeah.
But there's not a standardized thing like, okay, it has to be captured all the time. Like, where couples are always buying, like, hey, like, our film has to have a full ceremony or full speeches. It's not an option type of thing. And it's still not there yet.
No.
But like, even with me and my packages, like, I push it, we're like, no, you got to buy these things because this is actually really the value. And so the only way you can show them the value is by showing them what they would have missed out on.
Yeah.
So,
Well said.
yeah, it's a whole mess thing where
It's still, to this day, it's like I'm still thinking.
So when it comes to a beginner videographer and managing expectations with clients, like, what do you recommend with that?
Okay, so managing clients,
Or like, what's that vetting process like to make sure that you don't set yourself up for failure?
well, I think
Especially when you're first new.
you got to be honest with yourself and the client, right? To the point where most people are going to struggle in the beginning, and when you, let's say you have a client, but your vision's not lining up, you're going to have to say no, I think. And I think that's the toughest part, because I think most people are just going to take whatever work they get, even if they know visions are not aligned, because, you know, obviously they want to build their portfolios, they want to do stuff like that, but then you're going to have issues where it comes to the creative process and expectations not being met. Again, going back to expectations. So I think that's one of the hardest things, is actually saying no and like understanding, like, hey, like turning down clients because you know that whatever you want to capture and what they want are not the same.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely really important to actually understand that and be true to yourself and be honest about it. I mean, it sucks. Like I've had to let things slide like that.
Yeah.
And it sucks to be like, dang it, you know, I could have started filling my books more or whatever. But like at the end of the day, you saved yourself a lot of stress, headache, and sometimes it's not worth it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what I would say is that sometimes the way I would describe is this, right? If we're going to problem and solution, if they have a problem, they need a videographer, you hear their problem and you have a solution, but it's not the right solution for them. And that's the thing. So their problem is different from the solution I provide. So guess what? I'm not the right one, and I recommend somebody that can offer that solution. And this is why we have, you know, choice of picking out who do we really want for these wedding days and these things. And it comes to that, honestly, it's that simple. When you think about it, it's like, all right, you got a problem. Let me hear your problem. This is why we do consultations, so we can get one to know another and making sure. And if I can't resolve that problem for you, let me provide some solutions to recommendations of others that can, and they're way more equipped and better to do that.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard for people to let that go, though. Like,
It is. I think people don't want to be let down when they see somebody that they like. However, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, if you have a problem, you need to do your best thing
to make sure you find the best person that solves that problem for you. And if the other person is telling you they can't solve that problem for you, let's go straight. Hear them out, because they're the solution, right? So at the end of the day, this is why there's a vetting process, and you have to be very careful when you do select people to find the solutions to your problem. If you're planning a wedding, be very wise to who you choose to provide the recommendations to solving those problems and those issues that
And
you
if you are
have.
the person being inquired, if you are the videographer, make sure you understand the needs of the client and seeing that you could manage that expectation and provide that solution. Again, you don't want to set yourself up and have just a lot of headaches because things were not, aligned properly.
Hey guys, it's January 11th and I finished putting all my stuff together. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I'm gonna start my next vlog at the wedding day and take you guys behind the scenes again. But it was a lot of fun, honestly, this past week. Hope you guys got some value from the interviews with Caleb and Christian. And got to hit the gym later today. I already read my Bible. Got that squared away. We got all the gear packed here too. I'm just going to insert some quick time lapses right now. That way you guys can see it. But if you don't follow me on Instagram at Sundial Creatives, go ahead and do so. The link down is below in the description. And that's where you guys are going to be able to see the final work and all that good stuff. And also subscribe to the Sundial Creatives YouTube channel if you want to see all my wedding stuff. And all that content there is super polished. This is way more like raw and candid. But had a lot of fun, honestly. This Osmo is such a powerful tool that I'm so excited to keep using it. And honestly, it gets me like in that creative mood just to film and document as much as possible. So today I didn't do much of it. It's gonna just packing up, being prepped for everything, and organize, clean the office, and stay 3 steps ahead. But I gotta charge this, dump the footage, and start editing this video that you guys are watching now. That way you guys can watch it over the weekend while I'm filming a wedding and starting the next vlog. So if you enjoyed, I thank you so much. And if you watch all the way through this and found some value, I appreciate you. And if you subscribe, thank you again. Honestly, means the world to me. And any feedback or any comments is helpful. And in this whole journey of 2025 that I'm doing. So I feel good about it, and I feel happy with everything that's going on. So I appreciate you guys. See you guys on the next one. Peace.